ke alii makua lani e kameha meha e na kawa e pare
Aloha everyone. Today I'm going to be taking you along for the Hapalua Half Marathon race. I will be giving you a breakdown of the new course that they just introduced, as well as giving you some tips on how to run a half or even a full marathon as a beginner. While I didn't really train for this race, I have ran the Hapalua in the past and also ran the Honolulu Marathon twice. So physically, I'm not prepared, but mentally, I know what it takes to finish a hard task like this. Whether it's finishing your first half or full marathon, or getting that new PR time, having a goal gives you that extra motivation to cross the finish line, especially in those times when you're tired and you feel like giving up during the race. My goal for this time is to 1. Finish without injury, 2. Film the experience, and 3. Finish at about 2.5 hours. The Hapalua starts in Waikiki Beach near the Duke Hanamoku statue. It goes through the heart of Waikiki where all the hotels and shops are located. If you're flying in to do the race, it would probably be best to stay in Waikiki for convenience. The race begins and ends in Waikiki. The beginning is always tricky because it's easy to get caught up in all the excitement. People will start passing you and then you get trapped into the idea that you should be going at their pace. But always remember that everyone has different physical abilities and everyone trains differently. If you're running out of breath at mile 1 to 5, then you're probably going too fast. You won't be able to sustain that pace the entire time. You need to slow down, focus on yourself, and just think of what your body is capable of. We just passed the 1 mile mark at this point. We are now leaving Waikiki and approaching Ala Moana area. On your left is the Hawaii Convention Center. This is where you pick up your race bib before the race. This is around Ala Moana area. On your right is Ala Moana Center, the largest open air shopping center in the world. And on your left is Ala Moana Beach Park and Magic Island. Mile 2 is where you hit your first drinking station. This is around Ward area. Personally, I don't like to carry water during the race, so I like to stop at every station to drink water and Gatorade. Pro tip, don't overdrink. The worst thing you can do is to overdrink and feel heavy during the race. It's going to slow you down. Another pro tip, try to grab water at the end of each station. Everyone are so eager for water that they try to grab the first one they see. It causes overcrowding and unnecessary commotion. Go to the last few people at the end, it's less crowded and people will be happy to see you.
That thing? Is that a camera?
It's a 360 camera.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Hey, let's go.
At Mile 3 is Kakaako. This is where you find some cool places to eat and lots of housing developments. You also start to see the elite runners on the left on their way back to Waikiki. We finally reached downtown Honolulu at Mile 4. This is the switchback to Waikiki, located near the Aloha Tower and Hawaii Pacific University. If you have medical emergency, this is where you see your first medical tent. And if you need bathroom emergency, the porta potty is also here. Personally, I like to listen to music while running. It helps take my mind off the body aches and it helps me forget the distance I've yet to cover. It just relaxes me and it just makes me feel better. This is Mile 5 back in Ward area and Ala Moana area. Pro tip, make sure you look where the end of the line is for the drinking station so you don't miss it like I did here. We're crossing the bridge on the border of Ala Moana and Waikiki at Mile 6. This is the Ala Canal. This is where you start to see less crowd of runners. Some have probably ran too fast too early and gassed themselves out. That is why it's important to keep a steady pace and just take your time. Like cars, our bodies need fuel to keep running. I like to keep energy gels with me during races. It helps replenish the depleted carbohydrate stores, giving you the extra energy and boost during the long run. It's really important to hydrate and fuel your body to avoid dehydration, muscle cramps, and injuries. Again, each runners have different bodies, so it's very important to test your nutrition plan before a race. What works for me doesn't necessarily mean it works for you. At mile 7, we're back in Waikiki. At this time, you should also start to see the same runners around you. These are the same people who are going the same pace as you, and you will most likely finish the race together. We're back in Waikiki Beach where we started. This is Kapilani Park at mile 8. The finish line is on the other side of this park, but we still have 5 miles, so we have a long way to go. Up until now, the course is mostly flat, but mile 9 is when you start to see elevation. This is probably the hardest part of the course when you start to go up Diamond Head. Mile 9 is when I started hitting the wall. The wall is a feeling you have during the race where you start to question everything. You start to question your choices in life, why you're doing this, and you just want to quit. This is also where you have to be mentally tough. You start thinking about your goal, what you want to accomplish, and use that to keep moving forward. You never want to stop, because when you stop, you start to feel your body and how sore they are, your legs, your toes, your head, and everything in between. You're gonna be too sore to start back up, so never stop. We're now on mile 10. This is the first downhill. At this point, I knew I was running a pace of 9 minutes per mile, and I knew I had a chance to finish at 2 hours or earlier, so that was my new goal. Pro tip: when drinking water from a cup while running, I like to squeeze the top together to funnel the water. This way the water is not splashing everywhere and getting on your face and your clothes. Oh, and always smile when you see the camera, even though you're dying inside. You'll probably thank yourself when you see the photos later. This is mile 11, and that's Christian. I haven't seen him since the beginning at mile 4. This is also the switchback to Kapilani Park and to the finish line. We're very close, but first we gotta tackle this last hill. Mile 12 is this big downhill. Use the downhill momentum to help you run faster. You lose a little time going uphill, so taking advantage of the downhill is a good way to regain some lost time. This is mile 13 and the push to the finish line. At this point, everyone is sprinting and giving it their all.
George Sacco coming in now. Jessica Lee at the finish. We say aloha to Anna Bragas. Tatiana Castanara. Ruka Akinele. Daniel Martin. John Hemingway. Gooden Palengi. Jane Unzuski. Congratulations.
At the end of the day, don't forget to have fun. One of the best things about the Hapalua or the Honolulu Marathon is that it doesn't have a time limit. You can run, you can jog, or you can even walk. You will surely finish as long as you keep going. Finishing a half or full marathon is so fulfilling. Not everyone will do it, so finishing one is something to be proud of. Final thoughts about this race. I wish it was sunny. Today it was humid and overcast. On a better day, you get to see the beautiful blue ocean, the green trees, and sometimes some rainbows. It's really a beautiful course, and I wish that translated on this video. I do like the old course better. You get to see more of downtown Honolulu, Chinatown, the Iolani Palace, and it get to see more of what Honolulu has to offer. But yeah, it was a good race. I did better than I thought.